We're back. You're watching the Jersey City Show. To my right is the president of the Jersey City Medical Center, my buddy Joe Scott.
Yep.
To the right of him is Rob Luckritz.
Yep.
Oh, man. I got that. And you, what are you doing down here, Bob? You're governmental affairs?
Government affairs.
But you're
EMS.
EMT too, right?
Yes, both departments.
There was a big controversy here in Jersey City over the ambulance.
Sure is.
But there's more than just the ambulance involved here. But let's take the people from the start. Jersey City Medical Center has been doing the ambulance services.
For 130 years.
Yeah, you handled Moses. You've been doing this forever.
Actually, you know, Pat, the funny thing is when there were horse-drawn ambulances, we were doing the EMS service. That's how long we've been doing this, before cars were around.
Do we have any footage of that?
Yeah, actually, we have some pictures.
We
so
do?
we
I'd
should,
like to
we
see
should
it.
definitely get those out, right?
For that matter, in a matter of, for disclosure, the Med Center that Joe hosts every Thursday, 1 o'clock
Right.
in Hudson County is a sister show to the Jersey City Show. Both shows are produced by the Hudson Media Group.
Yep.
So when it sounds like I know too much, it's because I know too much. We don't even have notes here. We don't even need notes here.
That's exactly
so
right.
you're doing it for 130 years.
Yes. Actually, yeah, and
uninterrupted.
uncontested. Yeah, and 5 years ago, the contract came up, and we were the only bidder. But this time, it looks like we've got some competition from the McCabe Ambulance Company.
Now, this year, when you put the bid in, an RFP, you zero bid that.
That's correct.
And you didn't just zero bid in Jersey City, you were zero bidding through the other municipalities also. This is nothing unique here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that there's a lot of competition for EMS these days. And the landscape has changed significantly. You know, our competition now are these for-profit hospitals. They are out of network. And so there's a real incentive for them to see a lot of patients through their emergency department because they can charge these out-of-network rates. And that's how they make a lot of money.
Explain that in network.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I have some paperwork on my desk I'll bring out later.
Right.
Where this one young woman was in Bayonne Hospital.
Right.
She was in there, I think, for 3 days and racked up $70-some-odd thousand.
Wow.
That's just in the hospital bill.
Wow.
There were other bills associated with that. What is in-network, out-of-network?
Okay, so for the most part, the medical center is an in-network hospital, meaning that we accept the majority of insurance plans. We have
I see that on your TV commercials.
Yes.
There's all those insurance companies fly
exactly
by.
right.
Yes.
So we contract with those managed care companies, and if you are a member of that managed care company through your insurance, through your health insurance, then when you come to our hospital, we accept the fees from that managed care company. And, you know, you might have a copay, you might have some deductible that you might have to meet.
Yes,
but
I know
generally,
about that personally with my eye surgery.
Right,
I
so-
was deductible to death.
Yes, you were deductible to death. Well,
Let's look at the finances
Right.
of the medical center. The money you make there, the money you receive, you reinvest it back.
Yeah.
You're in the process of reopening the Greenville Hospital. You
We're
and
gonna-
I were up there with the mayor
Yeah.
of Jersey City
Yeah.
recently.
So the Greenville Hospital is very exciting because we're going to have this great ambulatory center over there. And we're going
We're
to
probably
provide...
jumping on some of your footage right now showing it that was
that's
shot
right.
there.
That's
We're
exactly
beating the
right.
Med Center
that's
show
right.
to it.
That's right. That's
We
right. We
filmed
can show,
it, yeah.
we can show some
We're
of that.
jumping. We're getting the footage before you get to use it.
There you go. We're going to have this great urgent care center. So we see many patients from the Greenville area come to the emergency department at Jersey City. We think that a lot of them can go to Greenville. And so we're getting ready to reopen that hospital, hopefully in the spring or summer of this year, because under construction right now. We all know about construction issues. We actually had a great...
Looks like he's moving along at a pretty
He's
good
moving
clip
along.
up there.
He's doing a great job. You know, they've gutted the whole inside of the hospital, and they're getting ready to actually reopen it. And we're going to have a whole host of services over there. So it's very, very exciting for the people of Greenville to be able to open up a facility that can serve them on an ambulatory basis. Now, it's not going to be an acute hospital, just so everybody knows that, but it is going to provide some significant services to that community, and we're very excited about it.
Well, the reason I bring that up, it's a matter of reinvesting back.
Well,
into
that's your
the
point.
system.
Your point is when we make a profit at the end of the year, we turn around and reinvest it.
You're talking about reinvesting in technology,
Yeah.
like the ambulances. They're really rolling hospitals.
Absolutely, yep.
You know, in the last year,
What do you
what did
call
you
them?
guys?
Rolling medical
Yeah,
intensive
we
care
actually
units.
call it, the technical term for them is a mobile intensive care unit, and it really is an opportunity for us to bring the emergency room out into the community with all sorts of high technology, life-saving medical equipment. You know, each and every one of those ambulances is costs us, you know, well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars.
That's a question we'll be coming up with, by the way. How many of those ambulances you have? But what kind of upgrades have been made into the emergency room and into those ambulances in the last year or so, Rob?
Well, over the past year, we've purchased 14 new ambulances. We've made sure that all of our new ambulances are a little bit heavier duty than a lot of other ambulances that you would see on the streets.
Well, they are Jersey City streets, so yes, it's good that you put some heavy-duty suspensions in there.
We work with both our basic life support and our advanced life support staff out.
Real quick, what is that? What's the difference between basic life support and advanced life support?
Sure. So the basic life support is actually what we were talking about earlier, the contract with the city of Jersey City, which is the ambulances that we have out there that are staffed with 2 emergency medical technicians. Their role is to transport patients to the hospital, provide life-saving care, backboarding, oxygen administration, defibrillation. In contrast, our advanced life support, which is our paramedics, so we have 2 paramedics on every ambulance. They have a much higher level of care. Each and every one of our paramedics goes through 2 years of schooling. They carry equipment to do intravenous lines, breathing tubes, over 42 different life-saving medications. They're in constant contact with the physician. We have multiple cardiac monitors on every one of our paramedic units that can communicate directly with the cardiologists at the medical center. So truly it is bringing the physician, bringing the emergency room out to the community.
Well, let me jump one thing on the through television and, Medical Center, all the TV shows, ER, you got the idea that the ambulance is zooming out of a garage in the hospital. You got to call, code blue on Gray Street or whatever. These guys all jump in the ambulance and off they rush out. The garage door opens. It's like the friggin' Batcave. They shoot it. But that's not the case, is it?
No, it's not the case. We move our ambulances around all day long. We have our one facility down on Montgomery Street, which is where we do house a lot of the ambulances. But our crews come in the morning, they pick up all of their equipment, they get into their ambulances, and we post them at 14 different locations around the city of Jersey City. And we move them around all day long, depending on where it is that a computer system that we have.
It's like a shell game going on.
It is, it really is. And I give our dispatchers a lot of credit. I've sat up there, and I'm not a dispatcher originally by trade, I was a paramedic. But I look at what they do, and it truly is amazing to see them shuffling, just as you said.
Now I spot them. I didn't. When you rode by and you seen the ambulance on on Hoboken Avenue or sitting on Franklin Street or was up on Hague, yeah, you thought the guy was having some donuts or he's reading the paper, he's goofing off. No, he's not. He's waiting for a call.
Yep.
How do they know when this call is coming?
Well, we use a computer model that we invested in back in 2006. At the same time, the medical center was going through a lot of difficulties, and everyone across the hospital was looking to see how could we be more efficient, how could we do a better job of using our resources. And from the EMS department perspective, we figured that we wanted to see if there was a better way we could put ambulances on the streets. In the past, we used to just move them geographically. So we put, as they became available, one in the north and one in the south and one in the east, and then we would kind of stack those on top of each other as we got more and more units on the road. What we do now is we actually use a computer model that we invested in back in 2006 that looks at historical data, looking at calls that have happened in the past, and can predict where it is that the next call is going to occur.
Pretty accurate too.
It is.
I got to see it. Is it kind of like a simulation where you see because I've been to a few of the meetings with you where you mentioned Newport. You have ambulances stashed down in Newport from 7 a.m. to 5 o'clock.
Right.
That's when Newport's hopping. All the people are there for work. But after 5, they start going into the path and they're going back to Hoboken and New York, wherever the hell they come from. They're not here in Jersey City.
We need to get you in to see the blob.
Yeah, I got to shoot that. I'm surprised we never filmed that.
Yep.
But then you pull those at 5 o'clock or so.
Well, not
You're
all of
pulling
them. We
those
pull some of
ambulances.
them. We don't need as many downtown.
Well, that's right, because there's the least amount of people. So you're moving them up to the Heights now, or into Greenville, or into West Side, where some of those people, because there are a few people that work in Jersey City and work in Newport and actually live in Jersey City, you move them back into other parts of the city where people are at home now at night.
Yeah, it really makes sense. When we implemented the system, it was kind of a little bit difficult for some of us that have been doing this for a number of years, because traditionally in the past, you're used to just kind of putting ambulances in stations. And so, but once we kind of looked at the system, it made sense. Unlike a fire department, for example, that's responding to buildings that have a chance of catching on fire regardless of time of day, buildings don't move, but people do. And people are creatures of habit. So we needed to move the ambulances all day long based on where the people were going to be, not where the buildings were going to be. So that's why we use a very different deployment model, and we're constantly moving them to where it is that the people are going to be at any given moment.
Contact Mayor Fulop. Tell them, go to Jersey City Medical Center. Go to my website, give me some emails, tell me what you think. Support the Jersey City Medical Center. For Joe and Rob, I'm Pat O'Amelia. I'll talk to you during the week. Good night.